That was Lisa Ackerman showing you her tough on her t-shirt there. Lisa, for those of you who are just joining us, is the founder of TACA, an amazing organization that's a parent group that she, as she said, started in her living room that does amazing things. They've got a conference that's coming up October 20th, 21st, and 22nd. We want their national conference. We want to encourage people to get their bodies to that. That is happening in Orange County, correct?
Yeah, but like we were saying at the break, we have people from all over the world come on in, and it's just a great time, really a great time. Lots of really motivated people, so it's awesome.
It really is, and I think every event that I've ever attended has its own flavor. But I gotta say that one of the things, 10 of the things that I really love about your events are that you are going to leave with your batteries refreshed, with hope anew, with you know how sometimes you go to something and you get good information, but you don't know what to do with it? Your people leave with a directive about what's meaningful to them about what they're going to do next, which I really love. It's so easy to get overwhelmed when you get information and you come back and go, I don't really know what to do with it. And people don't leave your conferences with that. They leave with contacts that are friends that they keep often for the rest of their lives, and they have had putting together what they're going to do next, what their list is. You're really good at putting together the list.
Yeah, we have a whole moving forward strategy that's trained from top to bottom, that we work with people to identify the most important things for their kid right now, and how to get that moving forward. And it's just super important. You brought it. I wanted to bring up a point about resources. So we have a toll-free line. We take calls. We have coordinators across the United States and mentors and volunteers, 700 of them now. And it's interesting when a parent comes forward and says, hey, I'm looking for this resource. It could be a speech pathologist. And after talking to them for for a few minutes, we may say, hey, you don't need a speech pathologist. You first need to get a neuropsychologist to assess your kid, and that may decide if your kid needs speech pathology or speech with regards to what's going on in their lives. So it's interesting when our families and our volunteers are connecting, they're identifying and shaving off any time that would be wasted.
Yeah.
So if you don't need a resource, or you're not quite sure what resource you do need, it's hard to sift through that early on. And even when your child goes through major, milestones like puberty, graduation, transitions, it's good to reconnect with TACA, especially, if you don't know what resources you need, or you haven't been in a conference in 5 years. The whole world has changed in 5 years. So
absolutely. And your kid changes in 5 years, as you were saying.
Oh. And my kid's still growing and changing.
Well, of course. And,
Yeah.
is it okay to say what your son is doing right now?
Yeah. He's good old Jeff. He and his dad are moving into his dorm room for his sophomore year.
For college. Sophomore year of
Child Day
college.
at the Ackerman house.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
It's called Get Rid of Child Day at the Ackerman house.
But with a grin. I mean,
Yeah.
to get to the point as an autism parent where you're excited about your son going back for his sophomore year of college and moving him back into the dorm, and that's an exciting thing for you. Isn't that where we all want to get to?
Yeah, and I think about, back in the day when he was first diagnosed, and you and I, Shannon, have talked about this a lot. He had a mental retardation diagnosis given to him 6 times. He was nonverbal or pre-verbal, I like better, from 15 months to almost 6 years. And to see him today, be excited about going back and doing his thing. And he ended last year with a 3.1 GPA. I couldn't do his homework. I look at his homework and I just literally want to die if I had to do his homework. I couldn't.
Well, I hear you. I had that conversation with my son the other day that I said, I'm so thrilled that you are finally at the point where the math that you're doing is so advanced that it's not even a question of coming to me with it. Because there were 2 years where I was sitting and Googling how to do the math, and now I can't even Google it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I've resigned from the math homework duty, and I'm thrilled
I've
about it.
resigned from several subjects, you know. I'm usually just humor, you know. Oh, that homework's terrible. I don't
And
know what you're gonna do. Good luck.
and you are also who he goes to for music history. You give him all the best. You download for him all the great music, because what people don't know about you is that you are a major. You love music.
Yeah, Jeff and I, he's my concert buddy. My husband, you know, has other gifts. He hates going to concerts. Jeff and I are like, if we could go every 2 weeks to a concert, we would. And we have a great time.
And you
So,
have very good taste in music. And actually, you've got a concert that's coming up.
yeah, we're incredibly blessed. In LA, the LA metro market, there's a station, Jack FM, and they adopted us almost 12 years ago. And they held a conference or concert. Sorry, conference was what we were talking about earlier. Concert, the fun stuff. And I'm absolutely blown away with how much support they've helped us serve thousands of families. And those thousands of families find us often through Jack FM because they do radio spots, which is amazing to hear talk about curing autism on the radio 10 times a day.
Yes.
And so they have their 12th conference for TACA, and
Concert.
yeah,
Concert.
and it's a major concert.
Yes.
And it's The Offspring, 311, Cypress Hill, Jen Blossoms, Lit, and Eve Six. And I know all of those bands, and I'm a total dork. Don't ask me to dance, but I will. And I look a little bit like Elaine on Seinfeld. But it's at the new 5-Point amphitheater, which is brand new to Orange County, where the 5 and 405 meet at the Great Park on October 7th. And we get $1 from every ticket sold. We also have VIP pit passes and backstage passes that we sell, and we receive 100% of those proceeds. So, I mean, every year that the average these conferences or concerts, excuse me, God, help me. The average these concerts help TACA is about 30,000 a year, and it just really helps make a big difference. But what we can't pay for is the friendship, the airtime, and just the stewardship that they've given us. And in corporate America, you don't often see people who give back like Jack FM, and they give back, and they're amazing. And I'm cool for about 30 seconds. It's awesome.
Well, it is cool. And Jack FM is a great station. If you're traveling in Southern California, it's a great station to listen to. I happen to love them. And I love when I'm listening to them and I hear them talking about TACA. It makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge Jen Blossoms fan, so I got to put October 7th on my calendar. But okay, but before we run out of time, because we're quickly running out of time, you have stuff that happens all year long, and right now it's back to school, and you've got some really amazing things happening for families to help with this transition back to school. Talk to us about that.
It's so important, because even if you've been back to school a dozen times, you know, sometimes it's just nice to know what people are doing at that next step. So across the United States, our coordinators have put together this just amazing effort to do back to school coffee talks. So literally almost in, I think we're now 27 states, 26. It's all a blur. If I'm off by one, shoot me. Don't shoot me, but I'm just saying I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But we have back to school efforts where you can get together, meet people in your community, get their handout, get some free samples, and really work to making this the best school year for your kids. So literally across the United States, coordinators will be hosting up and helping families get geared up for back to school.
And this is how specific sometimes here locally, not close to me, but close enough that I could get to it. One of the things that you're doing very soon, I think it's happening next week, is that you're having a group get together and you've got legal help that's going to help to put together the binder that has your IEP. And because we're inundated with paperwork, and a lot of times we don't know what to keep and what not to keep. And you can bring your binder, or you have ways that they can purchase low cost a binder and somebody there to help them to put the tabs in on the IEP. I mean, it's just so good.
Well, it's even the best part of of that I love. So there's 10 adults that work in the talk office every week, and for the last 2 weeks they've been putting together binders for the meetings coming up. So adults with different abilities on the autism spectrum come in and help us. So it's a full circle thing where they get to, put things together so we can better serve the families. And I'm just super excited. And, for families that I brought a guide in with me just because I forgot to do it last time. If they go to their first meeting anywhere in the United States, they get a free autism journey guide. And so this guide is just such a great book. It's free to families. You got to show up to get one. And it really has a lot of the back to school information, but also all the other stuff that's important to you, including blueprints, medical information, diet, learning, your rights, the whole 9 yards. So,
and you go. And does it still come in 2 different versions? One for when you've got younger kids?
This is the new version where we combined everything, and it's an accompaniment to the website. So
fabulous.
The article starts here but ends on the website. So that way we can come across and put everything in here that's really going to guide folks along their lifespan. So we try to make it easier. So now it's all in one place.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And your website is I'm going to say this, hands down, the best website on autism and autism topics in the webosphere. You have more information, and you could go on your website and fall in and stay for months and not get to the bottom of all the information that you have there. So, but your blog is amazing. And whether it's talking about diet or, how do you budget? How do you make this work? You guys have information on everything.
Yeah, I mean, crazy stuff like, how do you get your kid to take a supplement to, my kid doesn't eat vegetables, how do I disguise them so they'll go down his gullet, to, the special needs rights, legally, not just for, right when you start, but along the lifespan of your journey. So it's every aspect of the autism journey, but really just giving you the resources so you can drive things forward based on what you need today.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Well,
so TACAnow.org, go there. Everything that we've talked about, you're going to be able to find links to there. If you can get to the conference, if you need help with scholarships, make sure that you check out that page. Look to see if there's a coffee talk near you. Look to see if there is a TACA group near you. And if there isn't, they can write in and ask how they can get that started. Isn't that right?
Yeah. For the first thing that I would encourage anyone before you write in to say, how do I get started? If you've been on the autism journey for 2 or more years, you can sign up to be a mentor yourself. And that's the first step in the training process is, saying that you want to help other families get that process going. And then, of course, I just welcome you to come to the conference. Taking that knowledge one step further is just going to make all the difference for your family, but everyone else that you want to support and help.
You are such a treasure to this community, Lisa, and I just want to say thank you on behalf of all of us for the work that you do. And I know that you have an amazing team, but it's
an army.
But it speaks to your vision with what you started and how you continue to roll. And thank you for creating a place where so many families find a home and find real answers and real hope. It's honestly, it's an amazing thing that you've done.
I have a hard time taking compliments. I just want to thank everyone who has reached behind them to pull up the next parent. And really, that's what's inspiring to me is watching families help other families. That's how the world becomes a better place.
Amen to that.